Homies, welcome back to another episode of the Concord Valley time-lapse park series we got going on. Really not much was done in front of this, as most of it was just doing the plaza, for a little bit of the plaza, getting started on what that would look like for the racing coaster, or the racing-themed coaster to our left. And a bit of the guest service is done inside the entrance. But hopefully y'all have been staying warm. Holidays been fun. With Christmas coming up, kind of crazy. Just a few weeks away. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone. But yeah, we're making a landmark in this park. You know, something that you would think of kind of like the King's Parks. Or a lot of amusement parks of some sort. But we're going with a double-decker carousel. Because, I didn't do my research, but I don't know if I really seen anyone make any of these before, so I'm like, why not? Let's take our shot at it. And after going to Great America for the first time this year, I was like, that looks awesome. I wish I could have got a ride on it, but I was credit hunting, so that was a priority for that trip. So when I go back, definitely want to go try to snag a ride. I could take it slower the next time I go there. Underrated park, by the way. Really good park. Enthusiasts hate roller coasters. Just know that much. If you just ever go out there and look at the discourse, generally enthusiasts just hate roller coasters. Go ahead and check out the podcast at the High Rollers. The main thing we on this channel. We got a bonus episode coming out alongside a main one this coming week. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. We have, can't believe we're getting to episode 100 and the end of the year for the amusement industry. So, but no, this is Planet Coaster. Hopefully y'all been enjoying the new toy box pack. I think that's going to be a grower. Phrasing. But still true. I think it's going to be a grower, not necessarily a shower at the moment. You get, a bunch of these toy box type pieces. And the Vekoma throw coaster. Really, I think the sleeper in it is the Ian F. Myler kid coaster. That's awesome. I think that is going to be that's going to be very useful for a lot of smaller parks, piers, all that sort. And I think that one's going to be really cute. I also just started modding the hell out of the game as I'm really getting back into it. Shout out to the Coaster Sim Society Discord. I think I got that right, for all the ways to make the game even more realistic, just coaster building and all that stuff. Yeah, some of that stuff is pretty freaking awesome. I would recommend just look up Coaster Sim Society Discord, and all the instructions, everything is there. The readmes are great, and good mods. Definitely has had me step up a bit because I'm just doing a bit more creator watching. Because I've been managing the game, and people, some of these people should just be designing real rides. some of the, damn, I get, the accessibility, and even then we're getting to the point with, installing mods and having some of these mods show center line for ride design and some certain, like, it's not necessarily like these are, I should say, it's accessible at first, but when you're really getting into the nitty gritty, it's pretty complex. We used to like con Kentucky Kingdom when they showed Storm Chaser, now Wind Chaser, and they show it in Planet Coaster as a reveal. Like, hey guys, this is the ride we're getting. Honestly, if you get a good creator or a social media guy knows how to really make a decent park, that's not a bad way to showcase the ride, the park or anything. To be honest, because the way this game is pushed with the Frontier Workshop mods, it's pretty incredible. Now, I used to always kind of I love to be a vanilla guy, all that stuff, but vanilla to an extent, not really much mods. Now it's to the point where it's the small little things I know that will help with my workflow. I know I could probably come up with something, maybe not as good, but at least come up with something. Say for instance, the metal detectors that I have there. I probably could have come up with that item or that scenery object. Myself after thinking about it, experimenting prototypes, but you have a great, blueprint for it on the workshop. Works fine for your park. Yeah, we're going to put that in, especially when you got a whole park to worry about. So, I will put that in for the medals, even though they aren't shown in this video. I just think they're really well done and can fit in for a lot of parks and a lot of there's a lot of usage for those. So I'll put that in there for you guys to look at and use, particularly if you're at parks. You builders might have it already. I feel like a lot of this stuff, this little like minutia of realism, all these little small little scenery objects, Frontier Workshop things that the game maybe doesn't have, but we can easily make because of all the pieces there. That's the beauty of the game. It's like they give us so many pieces with each pack and each scenery pack, each theme, and a lot of it is obviously themed to that specific theme. We're saying theme right here, but it is catered to that. But they're also a bit modular in the sense that they can be used in other ways. I mean, the game's always been catered to that way, but we kind of had to think outside of the box. Now it's, to me, a lot of the pieces feel like, oh, I definitely want to use this with other things. It feels a bit more natural. So, yeah, right now I'm just, I'm really just doing the side trimming. Honestly, I didn't do any of the lighting yet or anything. Most of this will be just the side trims here. Putting in the soil and the planters and then the fountains. So yeah, that's really this was the first thing to give me, alright, I'm back to this park. I definitely gotta go hard because making a whole double-decker carousel, right? Now I would love to see if I could make it to where it's more like an actual entrance for a double-decker carousel. You can just walk up and then you choose once you're there. You go to the top or the bottom. At the moment, I'm gonna have to have just two separate entrances for left or for top and bottom for now. And yeah, because man, they really need to make a way to get rid of these ride platforms. Like, just make them to where if I want them there, sure, but if I want just the ride and then I want to build a platform myself, give me that option. That'd be freaking awesome. Tell me, what is the main wish list you guys have for this game? And also, a few more recordings with the zoomed in here. Sorry, I didn't notice it until a few recordings later. So hopefully it doesn't piss you off too much. I'm very excited to continue here. This is before I added the Gravity Group Woody. That's going to be alongside the parking lot and also right on the entrance to the water park, which I was debating for a long time where to put the water park in here. I was debating on putting it in the middle of the park so that basically you could just loop around it. But I thought, okay, this is a lot of land. Like, if you're gonna walk here, like, here from the entrance to the Giga would be very long. It's not an easy hike necessarily. So I'm like, okay, that park's big enough. Let's just say if you want to go to the water park, you hook immediately to the right, and boom, you're there. And then there's, as I build more pathing back there, I will probably have pathing to get in from the front to that left there and probably around the back, so you don't have to walk all the way to the front just to get in. So, and who knows, like, since where I put it in the right, I thought maybe I could put a water park entrance. So yeah, that's definitely something to do here. Yeah, I definitely, because when I start seeing this and all come together, I was like, yeah, I definitely need to start going hard. Also, I'm kind of hiding the signage that I had at the front. I'm pretty sure it's not even up yet in this time lapse, but I had a bit of signage that was especially when we were going with Laurenville and all that, and I really was not a fan of Laurenville Day. I was like, no offense if your name's Lauren or anything. Really, that wasn't it. It was just more so, I think it sound more like a real park. So I was like, all right, let's go with something. I did some research in North Carolina area. So, oh, Concord is, it's a huge place for NASCAR and all that stuff. I mean, North Carolina in general is. So I was thinking Kannapolis, because obviously the Earnhardts are from there. But I was like, that might be, I don't know how much tourism is actually there. So I went with Concord because I think there was just a bit more tourism from what I saw there, and just a lot of open land. So I'm like, okay, that open land, it makes sense. We're gonna go with that, and then feed off of it a little bit. We'll go with a more bird. I just have a bird. Concords aren't necessarily the prettiest birds, but we're just gonna go with a bird, alongside of wings, along with the signage, Concord valleys. If you've looked at the time lapse, you have seen it, like the sign we have made. So it's not like it's hiding. I'm using it for the thumbnails, but in game you have not seen it yet. So, but yeah, after all of these time lapses coming out, probably while these are coming out, I will be working on really chunking down the left side of the park. Excuse me, left side of the main street of Metro Atlanta. That's what I call the main area here in the front. Apparently, they was coined from old metropolis of Charlotte and metropolitan areas of North Carolina. So, yeah, we're gonna call that Metro Atlanta just because we're gonna have that more of a place. Not really many rides, besides double decker. That's probably it. This is mostly commerce and shopping. Like, you're mostly gonna be shopping here, spending money here, eating here. So also excuse the sniffles and the stuffiness if you notice that. I don't even know if I'm sick. I know I was fighting fall allergies for a while. Now this feels a bit worse. I don't know. I couldn't tell if just work gassed me, and then now I'm just, But it is what it is. Also, if you saw that there, I was looking at some of the scenery packs. I can't believe this is in. Speaking of, and also that Dookie there on the screen was also a comparison, an analogy of what the Commanders are this year. So or in general. So yeah, as a Commanders fan, I'm able to say that. So it's not like I'm saying that as anyone else. We are cheeks. So yeah, here at the top, I was actually experimenting with with a bit of what to put on top here. This will be with the water. So try to clear my nostrils. Yeah, so I was thinking about putting some dudes up here, some women, some statues, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm not gonna do it. I was like, that's not the vibe I'm going for. I kind of wanted to be more. If I want to have that, less statues elsewhere. And I ended up changing this trimming here because I was like, this works a bit, right? And then hindsight after searching, I was like, okay, this is not working. And making these timelines at first, again, was a bit hard because, like I said, I was needed to find out exactly what pieces I liked again. Especially because I really haven't built just generic amusement park in Planet Coaster 2. Mostly it was Planet Coaster 1 thing I would do, and obviously Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. So yeah, I was like, all right, what exactly am I going with here? Like, I wanted to obviously feel, they have a bit castle-y theme, but it's, not real castle stuff, right? And it's very minimal on it if it's actually going to be. So it's not like we're in a European park or a Disney park. So that's why I was like, okay, it needs to be obvious castle-inspired, but not full-on castle. So yeah, I ended up really liking what we got with here. The colors, and like I said, it very inspired. I can't say very inspired because it doesn't look exactly the same, but the double-decker carousel that I remember looking at this year, and for making this, I definitely looked at some photos on my phone, was the Great American Carousel. So shout outs to that for that. Yeah, this is where I make the change. Just want to go with a more clean look, more washed white as well. I think I ended up going with, like, it's been there for a while. Like, there's a lot of just either pollen or just built up dirt on it. I feel like I ended up getting that vibe with a kind of yellowish orange, a very light yellowish orange. So I know that this yeah, I know this is gonna be a bit of a longer episode, but really this is obvious. This is me going through a lot of the work process here, trying to see exactly what I wanted to do, and obviously why it's hard for me to come out to time lapses. But seeing all the coaches running in the back, what they're doing, it pushes me to really want to put this stuff together. And as these time lapses go, they're not going to be as kind of just be struggling here. So yeah, as the coach season is winding down in real life, hopefully y'all had it going. You know what I'm saying? It was a bit rocky here for some parks, but I ended up making mine pretty nice, man. It was a bit better than 2024, I would say. So yeah, still need to get to that 300. Really is not a race for me, but I would like to get it at least for a bit. I'd like to make it a, just something I'm working towards. It's nice, man. And obviously, a bunch of my homies just like they laughed at me like twice now. It's kind of sad. When it comes to this ghost, kind of like, damn. I'm like, I need to catch up. I need to catch up here. No, we're doing this, and then in a little bit we start working on the fountain in the reservoir here. So, and then I am excited to show what ends up coming out to the right, because we started using a lot of the townhouse pieces, but also into making a little. I was upset that I didn't end up putting a Main Street restaurant. I always have those in my parks, right? And this time I found a very interesting way to do that, and especially with how they fleshed out gift shops, restaurants in general. I'm very excited to see how that's going to turn out. So yeah. But we're finishing up here on the double. I'm just finishing up on the stars, centering some things, and just doing the final touches. Really, I'm actually kind of impressed with how it came out. In terms of, it looks clearly like, this is a big landmark, but this was made when it was made, right, in the 80s. We're gonna say 85, 86, and they really haven't touched it since. It's just kind of just been that way. They had no reason to really change it, because people like it the way that it is, and really, what is there a reason to change it? It's gonna cost you more money to do anything, and it works just fine. So, I still need to just figure out what, flowery scenery, landscaping I want here, and obviously, that's kind of a big reason why I kind of do that last. It's because I'm not necessarily, I've researched a lot of, architecture because of Planet Coaster and just building in this game city skylines, and you kind of just intuitively see things. Maybe I'm overthinking landscaping, but I just feel like it's not as intuitive as the others, right? Like, there's certain reasons they would use it. Now, for a park like this, they'd probably just throw in colors and call it a day. Certain flowers would, work on certain times. That's all cool. I really am talking about during the process of, I guess, like a really themed park or something else. And we're back. But that is the real reason why I take a bit of time when it comes to doing that. But this park's no excuse, to be honest. And the parking lot, that had it done with the blueprints, obviously. So that's the reason why that is all done. So yeah. I don't know how this is finishing up. I'm pretty pleased with. And then the fountain, I was happy because I think that when you're gonna be walking alongside it, it's gonna be a cool view. And once I put the trees up, I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty similar to something like King's Dominion, and that being my home park, and it's kind of awesome. And I haven't really done anything like that. I've done the two side, but nothing with trees necessarily. We did Brothers Peak, where it has the fountain, but there's no trees there because so much of the main street takes up. It's not necessarily a big one. That's when we have the opportunity to do that. And I think once this is all finished, we have some of the streamer lights going, which I love to use. It's gonna be a cool little look here. So as I'm doing the final touches, like I said, just centering. I think I ended up changing and putting a spire where the princess is, because like I said, I took out all the statues on top and I'm just using for one in the fountain, and that's what we ended up doing here. So I'm starting to build. I'm pretty sure just a bit of the retaining wall of the water here for the fountain in this reservoir. But as I realized, unfortunately, I didn't make it exactly straight, so this is going to be a bit difficult. Stuff like this happens. It does add a bit of time. Really, the time lapse doesn't. Unless you look at a lot of time lapses and then play yourself, you know that this is it's probably the reason why this is almost pushing 30, right? It's like the small little stuff like this, and this is me trying to see if I can fix the problem. But honestly, I should have just kept from the beginning. I should have just tried to line it up by hand, because it's gonna change anyway. So, no, we get as best as we can, and then do what we can here. Especially because you're not necessarily going to be looking at it. That's not necessarily an issue not to try to make perfect, right? But in the sense of you're literally like you would have to be looking at it pretty fine, and then in real life, a lot of these blocks placed, not even if they were fine and put together really good at first, there might be some natural separation, just off of just them being there for so long, so much weather, repadding, all of that, or they just never resubmitted it, just stuff like that. But I honestly think I made it pretty straight. But it's the small stuff like that, like ugh, because sometimes you want it to be perfect, right? You want it. So having it happen in those situations, it's rough. Here, there's a bit of leeway, but even then, I think I made a pretty flush to the ends of the path here. But no, afterwards, we just do some of the fencing, and yeah, I really can't wait to enclose all of this, because at first they were going to be able to see a bit of the rides in the distance, kind of like Kings Island, but now I know after I put up a lot of the buildings and the scenery, landscaping, and the trees, yeah, you're gonna have to discover a lot of this park. So it's kind of awesome. I really like parks where you can discover. Like, you don't just see everything right in the... Maybe you do see it when you drive in, but once you get in and you're in the main entrance, it's not apparent on where to go, where to get to everything, unless you have a map. And not saying that the layout is bad, but saying that, like, it's just... Literally, it's not in your sight. You know, you're seeing just a lot of the park's minutia in front of you. So, yeah, I really like it when there's a lot of kinetic energy. I mean, obviously, having an entrance like Magic Mountain where you just have something crazy like that. So, as we're getting close to the end here, just finishing up the fountains. In the fountain, you know, the jets, all that stuff. Thank y'all for keeping up. If you, I mean, I was surprised that y'all came back with such a pretty good presence, man. You know, just I do this for fun. I'm glad y'all enjoy. I'm not saying I'm the best creator at all. Like, we're just doing this for fun, man. You know, it's kind of to show that you don't gotta be the best to just make some pretty sick things. And if you're on the fence, just give it a shot. You know, you never know. You never know what you can make. Put some stuff out there. But yeah, go ahead and like the video if you want to see more. Go ahead and subscribe for more Planet Coaster series. We have one from before, from when we first started playing the game. It might not be as interested in that, but at least you might be interested in the point of views from those. But yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one, where we will go working on a lot of the right side here, and I think we'll be pretty caught up, and then I get to just play the game again. Take care, y'all. Stay safe out there, stay warm, and catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, homies.